All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're heading deep, deep into the forests of Europe and Asia. Why? Because we're on the trail of one of its most mysterious residents, the Eurasian lynx. This is an animal so stealthy, people just call it a ghost.
And you know, the source material we're looking at today just nails it with this opening line. It really gets at the almost, well, supernatural stealth of this animal. This isn't just a cat we're talking about. It's more like a whisper in the woods, a phantom. So, this whole reputation as a ghost, that's exactly where we're going to start. Let's dig into what makes this cat so deserving of that name. And just so we're all on the same page, we're talking specifically about the Eurasian lynx. Lynx. This is the big one. I mean, it's basically the heavyweight champion of the lynx family, the largest of all four species. And its territory is just massive, stretching all the way across Europe and Asia. Okay, so how exactly is a ghost built? What makes it tick? Well, that's what our next section is all about, built for the hunt. We're going to look at the incredible biology, the engineering that makes this animal such an amazing predator. First up, let's just talk about size. An adult lynx can be over 100 centimeters long. That's more than 3 feet. So yeah, this is definitely not your average house cat. We are talking about a seriously powerful animal here.
And it's not just about the length. They're tall too, standing over 70 centimeters at the shoulder. That whole powerful frame is what gives it the raw strength and the leverage it needs to take down prey that's actually way bigger than it is. So you can think of it as having this incredible predator's toolkit. You've got that piercing gaze, right? It can spot the tiniest movement. Then there are those iconic tufted ears. They're basically natural antennas, and all of that comes packaged in this super powerful, precise build. But you know, out of all those amazing features, the source material points to something you might not even think of first. It suggests that its most important tools, the real secret to its success, might just be its paws.
And these paws are incredible. They have this amazing dual purpose. First, the pads are super thick, so it can stalk in total silence. But the real game changer, it's their wide base. It acts exactly like a pair of snowshoes, so the lynx can just glide over deep snow while its prey is sinking and struggling. I mean, what an incredible evolutionary advantage.
So when does it put all this specialized gear to use? When it's most effective, of course, at night. The lynx is a nocturnal hunter. It uses the darkness as the ultimate camouflage, coming out when its stealth gives it the biggest advantage. So, what's on the menu out there in the dark? Well, it's actually pretty varied. It can be anything from big prey, like deer, which it ambushes with just incredible power, all the way down to much smaller, quicker animals like hares and squirrels. Okay, so we know it's a skilled hunter for sure, but how does it live? That question brings us to our next section, a life lived alone. And yeah, this is all about the solitary life of this incredible cat. You see, unlike a lot of other big predators, the lynx doesn't do the whole pack thing. Nope, it's a master of solitude. Each one carves out its own huge territory and patrols it completely on its own. So you might be wondering, how do they communicate with other lynx if they're always alone? Well, I just love this description from the source material. It says the lynx leaves secret notes in the forest. It marks its territory with claw scratches and scent, little messages that basically say, hey, this spot's taken. Its whole daily rhythm is super simple, but really efficient. It's basically a 2-step cycle. During the day, it rests. It's hidden away from everything, in a thicket or maybe a rocky den. But then, by night, it hunts. That's when the forest truly becomes its kingdom. But this perfectly balanced life of stealth and solitude, it's been dangerously disrupted. And that brings us to our final and maybe most important section, the human shadow. Because for all its amazing ability to just vanish into the trees, for all its skill as a survivor, its elusive nature was no match for its one great predator. And as our source makes painfully clear, that predator is us. And this threat, it has a history. Back in the 1970s and 80s, there was this massive demand for fur that created something called the Great Pelt Rush. Thousands upon thousands of lynx pelts were exported, and it just decimated their populations. And even though that specific pressure isn't what it used to be, the struggle for the lynx is, well, it's far from over.
Today, the lynx is basically fighting a three-front war for survival. You've got illegal poaching, which still happens despite the rules. You've got habitat loss. Their forests are literally shrinking, giving them less territory. And on top of that, their prey is declining, which means less food to go around. Every single one of these things makes their solitary life that much harder.
And all of this really leaves us with a huge question. The Eurasian lynx it's a masterpiece of evolution. It's built to survive the absolute harshest winters and the deepest forests. It is built to survive the wild. But the real question is, can it survive us? And that's the thought I'll leave you with today. Thanks for joining me for this one.